Welcome to the show where we explore the who, what, where, how, and why of the extraordinary people who define our north of normal metro. I'm Conrad Fargo, and this is the Fargo Five. Today we have Penny Stadick, the owner of Herbz and Spicez, with a Z on both of those. Hey, Penny.
Hey, how's it going?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming in today. Now, I know you because you blew into town and right away, I think, or relatively recently, jumped into my networking group that I have on Fridays.
Yes, I did.
You came in there, and you've been very involved. Very excited to have you a part of that group. It's called Small Business Connect. And, you know, I've just kind of gotten to know you as we meet each other week after week. But why don't you go ahead? So that covers the who you are. Why don't you go ahead and give us your little introduction? Tell us what it is that you do.
Okay, so my name is Penny, and I own Herbz and Spicez in West Fargo. And what I do in my little shop is I have single herbs, I have spices, I have teas, I have herbal teas, tinctures. We wholeheartedly nourish your body from the shop.
Okay, so it's an and as the name says, it's an herbs and spices shop. And so what is it, what would you expect when you walk in to the shop? Do you want to maybe paint? Of course, I've been in there, I could do it, but people listen to me talk on every episode. So why don't you kind of paint us a picture? You know, when we walk in, what is it we see? What's the experience? What exactly are you buying?
Okay. So when you walk into the shop, you're going to see on either side, there's my office and a Reiki space. So I do Reiki as well.
Oh.
And you walk.
And what's that? What's Reiki?
Reiki, it's hard to explain, but I explain it as a massage.
Oh.
With no touch, and you're wearing your clothes.
Okay. And no touch.
No touch.
Okay.
So it's relaxation techniques and different things to help with pain and inflammation and anxieties and things like that.
Are you doing stretches at all, or what are you? Okay.
No.
So
I do some meditation, and I use essential oils and stones and.
Okay. But are you applying the essential oils, or how is it? I don't know anything. I don't know anything about anything. Just like our listener. So it's, you know, it makes me a good interview host in that I know nothing, right? So,
right.
So from complete ignorance, like let's just, because you mentioned it, and when you walk right in, you got the Reiki right there.
Yep.
I don't even know what even is that? I got no idea. Like it's relaxation, massage without touch.
Correct. So what I do is you lay on a massage table, of course, and I go around your body using my hands. Sometimes I'll do light touch depending upon how hot my hands get, because when my hands get hot, there's a blockage in your energy system. So you have an energy system that goes down the center of your body. Most people know it's called chakras. I help align those.
So this is related to yoga somehow, like in a way, or at
energy
least
work.
Okay.
Energy work.
So it's like a Hindu thing, or
yeah,
what?
from India. It's an Eastern medicine type of thing.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
And how did you get into that?
I started doing end of life work, and it was a way for me to help the individuals at their end of life be more comfortable and pain-free. Okay.
I think we'll circle back to that one, because I still want to paint the picture. So we walk into your office. You got your office right when you walk in. It's like a commercial. It's like a strip mall kind of a thing, right?
Correct.
Off of Main. You walk in there. You've got your office on one side, the Reiki room on the other, and then you walk in, and it's this big open room.
Yep.
And tell me about what we're looking at in that big open room.
When you walk into the open room and you go to the left, you're going to see a wall with just spices on it.
Yeah.
So I have about 75 or 80 different spices, single spices, spice blends. All that is right there.
And they're in these big...
They're in jars.
Big jars.
Yep. So you... everything's sold by the ounce.
Yeah.
So you measure it yourself.
Yeah.
Put it in bags, jars, whatever that's provided underneath there. You can bring in your own bags. You can bring in your own jars. You can bring in and reuse what you have.
This reminds me a lot of... like pre-COVID times in the grocery store. You would go and they would have like banana chips and nuts and things that you could like scoop up by the pound out of like a big jar into a smaller jar. Then you weigh it and you walk out. I mean, I don't even know what you call that. Is it like wholesaling, or I don't know what you call it, bulk?
Bulk sales.
Yeah, bulk sales, and that's kind of what you're set up to do. Is that
correct?
And
so as you go around, you'll see I have just shy of 200 different herbs, single herbs, and then I have about 75 different tea blends. I am on. As you go around, you'll have your regular tea blends, and then you'll have your body tea blends for different ailments that the herbs can help nourish your body. And then I have a smoothie space where it's got all different kinds of powders, my mushroom powders, maca, green tea, matcha, beetroot powder, flaxseed, things like that, ashwagandha. And then as you go around, I have a wall that says body systems. So I have the 12 body systems and specific teas and herbs and tinctures to nourish that specific body system.
Okay. Well, and it's helpful that I've been there, so I'm kind of walking through the picture in my mind as well. So yeah, you've got like the whole wall is those bulk, and you describe it as being broken down between herbs, spices, and teas, but really they're all just botanicals, right?
Correct.
For the most part.
Correct.
Although you did have the one crystal, like giant crystals,
menthol crystals.
And that's legal to sell those crystals.
Yes,
people. Okay,
it is. It's just it's menthol that's not been melted down.
Okay, and then do you cook that up yourself, or how does that get cooked? Or
so I do use it in some of my products. So like when I make my deep body rub, or I can make it in different levels of heat. Using the menthol crystals and some essential oils. But people buy them and put them in the bottom of their showers so that it steams up, like when you have a cold or stuffy or you're not feeling well.
I'd never seen anything like that, and they're really crystals are cool. Like I'm like a little kid. I'm like, ooh, crystal. So those were probably my favorite thing when I walked in there. But yeah, you've got all kinds of stuff. You even had like marshmallow root.
Yep.
Which I don't know how rare that is, but that's in, like, my favorite tea is throat coat. So I was surprised you have all the ingredients. I could make my own throat coat.
Yep. And probably healthier and less expensive.
Yeah, more affordable to come by from you than the prepackaged. You think?
Correct. I believe so. When you go to the grocery store and you buy the teas and the tea bags, they're ground down and then they're put into tea bags and they lose a lot of their medicinal aspects. They still help and they still assist, but they're broken down into, like, when you open the tea bag, it's like dust.
Yeah.
Where when you buy from the shop, it's the whole plant. It's not dusted. Okay. You can do it. I have a grinding station if you want to grind it, but
it's going to be more fresh. Just like when you buy coffee, I went down the rabbit hole on coffee a little bit, and now I don't buy the pre-ground. I buy the whole bean.
Correct.
And grind it myself. So it's kind of like that. It's going to be more fresh, more potent, better flavor.
Correct.
And then, these herbs and these teas, they have, like you said, medicinal qualities, and I'm sure you'll get a more potent effect, or just tastes better, or
both.
Yeah,
both. Yeah. God put plants on the earth for a reason. So when you think about that, think about years ago when there wasn't Western medicine.
Sure.
What did people use?
Okay,
they used the stuff from the earth.
Yeah.
So they used the plants, and they used they ate from the earth. They got medicine from the earth. So just going back to those roots.
Yeah. So you're doing the bulk sales. The store's just open. You've got they're quite large glass jars. You come, you pick up whatever it is you need. What else is in the store that's for sale there? Or is it mostly bulk spices? Or you had said there's a chart of some kind? Or
so I do. There's tinctures. I have salves, perfumes.
Wow.
Essential oil perfumes will be coming out soon.
Oh, wow.
I have, what else is in there? I have so much in there.
Yeah, a little bit of
tea
everything.
bags. I'll be making some lip balms.
But it's not like a head shop at all, right?
No.
So like it's not sometimes when I think herbs or something like that, but it is very specifically themed to just like everything botanical.
Correct.
Right? And so you walk in there, you can get your botanical needs, walk out with them. How long have you had that established? How long have you had it out there?
I opened this specific store back in April.
Mm-hmm.
So
of this year?
Of this year.
Okay. Wow, that really hasn't been very... I feel like I've known you Did you come to the networking group before you opened?
No.
I feel like I've known you for a while.
No.
You've been so active and such a part. It's already July here.
Yeah. I think I started in the group in May.
Okay.
So it's only been about 3 months.
And now, so I think we've covered the who and the what. Moving on to the where. Now, because you moved here.
Yes.
From Arizona, was it?
Yep. I was born and raised here in Jamestown. So,
okay.
All my family lives up here.
You're from here originally?
Originally,
okay.
Yes.
That's why you fit in so well.
Yes. So then when I met my husband that I have now, we've been together 22 years in August.
Wow. Congratulations.
So right after we got married, we moved to Arizona.
I see.
And we lived in Arizona for about 20 years.
Yeah.
Moved back. We were here a year. I moved back to Arizona to manage a holistic center down there, in a nutrition side of a detox center. And then when that contract ended, I moved back for a month, and then I moved to Iowa and worked with hospice, doing Reiki and clinical aromatherapy with the hospice.
Yeah.
And then I decided I was tired of moving around so much and not being with my spouse. So
What was the impetus of all that moving around in the first place?
just work,
Yeah.
finding out who I am, where I'm going, what it is I wanted to do with my life.
Well, my understanding is that when you were out in Arizona, that's where you began with the herbs and spices
Correct.
work, right? And so
Yes.
you had started that. And when did you start that down in Arizona? That was
like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you ran that for...
So I had an essential oil retail store in Arizona, specifically essential oils. But that came after I did so much training. But then I was also working with an herbalist. My mentor, her name is Kathy. She just recently passed away, and she owned an herbs shop that I apprenticed in for 5 years.
And so that was something that you bought into, you apprenticed into for 5 years.
Correct.
Because this up here in Fargo now, or rather West Fargo, you're kind of right on the edge there. That's from the ground up. That's nobody's buying into it. You're just bringing your supplies. You're setting
Correct.
up. This is mostly.
This is me.
This is you, right?
Yes.
Just bootstrapping the whole thing.
Yep.
In Arizona, that wasn't so much the case.
Not when I first started. When I first started, I was working at the herb shop. I was apprenticing. I was running some of her markets, doing that kind of thing. And then I fell in love with essential oils, and she was a big supporter of me studying that and going on that adventure. So when I did that and I opened up an essential oil store, we kind of sent people back and forth because she didn't do essential oils and I was really adverse in them. So we did the back and forth thing. And then literally right before COVID was official, I closed my retail store down there, went completely online to move back and take care of my mom before she died. And then COVID became official, and that kind of took care of all of that.
And you're taking care of your mother as she passed. Is that how you ended up in hospice care, or how does that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Like, well, because that is hospice care again.
That
For those who don't know,
Yes.
Sometimes you see the sign like hospice or whatever,
Yep.
right? But unless you've experienced it, hospice is end of life care.
Correct.
Right, and that's a whole. So, I just touch on the where is that you're from here originally. You moved
Yep.
out to Arizona and you came back, and,
Yep.
and I think now we're moving on to the how, which is the origin story, probably the bulk of the show here.
Mm-hmm.
So your how starts with the apprenticeship,
Yes.
mostly, right? With
Mostly
this lady?
started with the apprenticeship.
Yeah. And how
yes.
did you? So you married your husband.
Yes, up
Or
here.
You got married up
Yep.
here, and then you guys moved to Arizona.
Correct.
Why?
To get out of the cold.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of people leave
Yep.
for that reason. Were you glad to be? So you landed in Arizona just like, I got to get out of this cold, and you guys
Yep.
had no jobs, or what was
No,
that situation?
My husband, Carl, did some work down there.
Yeah. And what does Coral do?
Carl works for RJW. He takes care of all of their accounting software. So he's
Okay.
a software guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the husband, and what's RJW?
It is a trucking company. It's one of the
Okay.
top trucking
So
companies.
he's doing software for a national trucking
company.
train,
Correct.
and he's like, "Get me out of Fargo." And
Yeah. Well, we ended up down there, introducing me to his friends first, because he had lived down there before, and we went down on vacation, and I'm like, oh,
This is nice.
this is nice. I want to live here. So
Not
I
afraid
didn't
of the
have
scorpions?
no.
Not, I mean,
No.
you know, everything, it's a trade-off, right?
It is.
And
It
it's my wife and I often, you know, I mean, I don't think anybody likes the cold. But it does kill all the bugs. Like, what's the bug situation like in Arizona compared to?
They have creepy crawlies. They have nothing really that flies in the air.
Okay.
So there's no really. The 20 years we lived there, I had no troubles with flies,
Yeah.
gnats, any flying insect. Maybe bees. We had some bees because bees are everywhere, and
And
I
then,
love
like,
them.
termites are an issue, though, too, right?
Termites,
Like,
yes.
that's-
Termites are an issue.
Yeah.
Scorpions are an issue.
Yeah.
All the
No,
creepy
that-
crawlies that crawl on the ground are an issue.
Yeah.
And we never really had a problem with them. You spray for them, and they come around, and we did the natural pest care because we didn't want any chemicals in the house. So, and it just kept them away. Didn't have any issues with any of that. I loved it.
I don't like insects. I'm a very masculine guy. I'm very tough and strong, and I can handle like mice, snakes, not bugs. I just shut down. I don't. And the idea of like a scorpion in my house, I will just leave. I will just leave. That's why we live here.
Yeah. Well, we had the last house we lived in. We had 2 scorpions that found their way into the house.
Nope.
And
Nope.
all I did is take a jar, put essential oil in the jar, and put it over the top of the scorpion, and within 5 minutes it was dead.
Oh, that's nice.
So, it was not hard to get rid of it at all.
Okay. So you move down there. Hubby is working, paying the bills, and you're like
Going to school, doing foster care.
going to school for what?
I actually went to school. I got my bachelor's of science in holistic health. So I started there, and then I went on the herbal journey, and then I went on the essential oil journey. Then I went on the end of life doula journey.
So you were already into the alternative medicine path, and you got a degree in that.
I did.
Okay, and then you meet the person for whom you apprentice. How do you meet that person? How does that happen?
I walked into her herb shop and fell in love instantly with all the plants and.
Yeah. Was it similar to your current setup, or what was it like in there?
She had a lot more stuff than I have.
Okay. So she's got this, established, filled to the brim Herbz and Spicez shop. Similar.
No spices, just herbs.
Just herbs.
Yep,
okay.
just herbs and supplements. And from the herbs, I mean, you take your herbs, you capsulate them, you put them on the shelf. But
okay. Was she putting them all in capsules herself? Or because I feel like supplements is yet another, or supplements, it was all herbal supplements.
Correct. So it's like taking ashwagandha powder and sticking it in a capsule.
And you don't do that currently?
Currently, I don't.
Why not?
I've been asked. It's a lot of work. And I have a lot on my plate right now.
Yeah.
So eventually, maybe one day.
Yeah. So many opportunities.
Yes. There's a lot of opportunity in what I'm doing.
Yeah,
So
that's great. So you meet her, you walk into the shop, and she comes out. She says, "Hey, buy all my stuff." And you're like, "How about instead I be your apprentice?" Or how does that relationship develop? How do you get that off the ground?
I took her class, her certification class.
She does certification classes.
Yep. She was doing certification classes right out of her shop.
And how did you hear about that? Like, it was just a flyer there, or she?
I just walked in, and when I bought some lavender, and there was a thing on the counter saying she was having a class, and I'm like, I enrolled.
Wow.
So,
and previous guest of the show, Keith Stensgaard, he does Maui sauce, and he got into sauce development and all that by taking a class from the guy for whom he was working out in Hawaii when he was out there. That's an interesting business model. Can you tell me a little bit more about these classes, how you found out about them, what it was that was appealing to you? Like what? How did that?
So, what drew me to natural medicine is Western medicine made me very ill.
Okay.
So, the alternative was learning more to take care of myself so I wouldn't have to be on tons of medications and pills and just band-aiding everything.
Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong. Doctors are good.
Okay.
There's a time and a place for both. And I wish a lot of doctors would understand that, if we work together, there'd be more health in this world. But I was just looking for something different to help take care of myself. And I found the little shop. and it just blossomed from there. And I've been doing it now for about 15 years.
Well, that's great. And what I want to zero in on, because it seems like this was a real hinge point, was if you had never taken that class, you never would have gotten so close to her. You never would have had the apprenticeship. You never would have gone down the road of expanding her shop, running it, taking it over, all of that, right?
Correct.
And so, you already had the degree. Why take yet another class? What was the class? Was it affordable? How many people were in it?
It was affordable. So there's about 30 of us in the class.
Wow.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah. Arizona is really big on natural medicine.
I guess
and natural ways to take care of yourself.
Okay.
So.
And what town were you in Arizona?
Mesa.
And do you have any sense the population of Mesa?
Oh my goodness, it's probably.
I mean, it's bigger? I mean, so the Fargo metro, Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo, just kind of the tight little area here, Dilworth, is like 250,000 people. We're pretty spread out.
Well over 1 million people there.
Yeah, just in Mesa. And then is there suburbs as well? I mean, what's the density like? There's 30 people in my classes.
You can go from town to town and not even know you're in another town. They're just all ran together like Fargo, West Fargo, you know. So there's
urban sprawl.
Yeah. So there's Gilbert and there's Chandler and there's Mesa, there's Tempe, there's Queen Creek, there's Phoenix, there's, so they're all like connected in this one little valley.
So it's not hard to get 30 people to just kind of collect. Because I'm trying to imagine, it was such a hinge point for Mr. Sensgaard with his Maui sauce. It's such a hinge point for here. Are you currently teaching classes? And is that something?
I am going to be teaching a class with Shannon she's an herbalist out in Castleton.
Oh.
And she also does massage. And our class is on August 7th. We're going to teach on herbs and essential oils for protection.
Yeah.
So that's my first class experience here.
Yeah. What do you have people signed up already? Is it?
I don't know. She's taking care of all that.
Okay.
Ben's, I'm new to the area. I did try and put out a class earlier for bug spray because, with summer coming and the mosquitoes and camping and all that kind of stuff. But I really didn't get the momentum. So it was a fail. Yeah. Of course, which you learn from those,
Absolutely.
So I didn't take it as a bad omen or anything like that. So
Absolutely.
I became a part of the women's wellness movement here in Fargo.
Yeah.
And met Shannon and we connected and
we've had a lot from the Wellness Collective, right?
Yep.
So that's Melissa Paycheck, previous guest to the show.
Yes.
Jen Enns,
Correct.
Hannah Bittenhausen, who is she was doing 654. I think she's still doing 654, and she just moved on as well. The Wellness Collective, I know them all. And a whole bunch of them previous guests of the show.
Yep, and they're having a summit on Thursday, a women's summit on Thursday over in Moorhead, and I'm the tea sponsor.
Okay.
So some of my teas will be over there
for drinking.
Correct.
Okay, that's not a bad idea, but it is astonishing, and I just kind of want to keep coming back because I'm trying to build that story, out of the class in Arizona. Yeah. Is the hinge point of that class, and even I myself, I'm not sure if you've heard of, because you're new to town, and I have since kind of put that down because it ended up being a lot on our plate. I did a thing called Fargo Meets Japan. That was me and my wife, because my wife's Japanese, and I taught free Japanese classes just to kind of try to meet people and expand my network, because it's always a great idea to meet people.
Correct.
Right? Like face to face, in person.
And all these networking groups.
Yeah.
To meet people. And I'm very active. I like to show up. I like to be there.
Yeah.
Get to know the people that are there.
Well, it's amazingly, people don't realize how simple it is just to be a player. Yep. Like, all you got to do is just show up. Show up, put your hand up, be engaged, say something, anything, help people with their stuff. Yep. And then all of a sudden, you're a major player. Like, it's not that hard. But it doesn't always turn out. So like Fargo Meets Japan, we kind of, the returns on that kind of nosedived a little bit, and we ended up with 3 kids of our own. So it was just kind of ended up on the chopping block. But gosh, I love to teach. I love classes. 30 people is a great turnout, and this was something they were all paying to be there.
Correct.
Yeah. And like ballpark, was it thousands?
No,
Hundreds?
It was actually like 1,200. So
okay,
not bad.
But that's $1,200. That's money. How many how many sessions are you talking?
We did, it was a 6-week class.
6-week class,
Yep.
and it was all of it up front. No
All of it.
refunds kind
Correct.
of a thing, right?
Correct.
And so it's you and 30 people, and all of them turned into apprentices?
No.
No, right?
No. Just certain ones.
So what happened? How many of the 30, how often did she do these classes? Like, I'm really... To me,
Like every
part
6
of
months.
this is
Every 6
almost
months.
her success story.
Yeah.
That she was able to
Yeah, Kathy was
create.
fantastic.
Well,
She was.
Kathy made you happen, right? And so what I really want to understand is, what is it that she did? How would one replicate that? Because if we wanted to have another Penny, we would need to create a class like that. Because without that class, there would be no Herbz and Spicez.
Correct.
And so, if we wanted to host our own class like that and have that kind of a turnout, like, do you really think like $1,200 for a 6-week course to get 30 people pulled in? That's wild.
Yep. Well, and you have to look at your demographics.
Okay.
Like, I am also looking at starting to teach classes, but I'm going to wait a while to get more footing and more awareness that I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, who's going to know to take a class, right?
Yeah.
So eventually I will have classes as well. There'll be 50-hour classes, 120-hour classes. So, and the demographics for financial just depends upon, your demographics. So I won't charge that much for my classes because the demographic's smaller.
If it's 30 people, paying $1,200, I mean, that was $40,000 she was pulling in 6 weeks.
Yep.
I'd like to make that, right?
Yep.
And then in addition to that, she was able to secure some apprenticeships.
Correct.
And so tell me more about, like, what does an apprenticeship entail, and how is that different from, like, an internship or just working?
It's basically the same, but you're working for free. You're working for knowledge,
Yeah.
right? So basically, the more you crave that knowledge, the more you want to apprentice.
Okay.
And I wanted to know everything I could about making tinctures and making salves and helping people with the herbs and things like that. And how do you run a business like this and stuff like that? So I jumped feet first. My husband's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm doing this."
Okay.
I always jump feet first and think later. So my husband's getting kind of used to that.
Okay.
But it was fantastic. I learned so much in the 5 years I was there, between helping her at the shop, helping her with her husband, who has now since passed away as well. So there was a combination of me doing some CNA work, hospice work, herbal work, kind of all mixed into one, helping her out. We became really good friends, and it was just a fantastic opportunity to learn and to explore the different aspects of holistic health, and being able to nourish your body with what came from the earth is beyond remarkable.
So while you were working with her, you started to do the hospice as well? Like, how did that fold into there?
So I worked with her, and then I went to the essential oils, and then from there I went on to become certified as an end-of-life doula.
You just keep stacking certifications on. Is this at Kathy's behest, or how is it?
No, just because it's something that I fell into and thought, well, wow, I could really help people in that area. So when I became an end-of-life doula, I've also taken very specific aromatherapy classes for end-of-life issues and end-of-life in general, people with chronic disease and that have been diagnosed with a sentence of death. I took a lot of classes for that. So it just depends upon, what I'm doing at the time on where my classes goes. Because what I do is there's always education. It's continuing education for the rest of my life. Because there's always new stuff coming in and new information and new ways to do things. And so right now I'm in 4 diploma classes. So it's continuing to educate myself as much as possible.
Where does this love for I don't know of anybody who feels the need to constantly acquire all these certifications. I mean, this is because it is you went to Arizona, you're getting the degree. On top of that, you're going to take a $1,200 class. On top of that, you're adding end-of-life doula. On top of that, you're doing essential oils. Have you always been this way? Where does this come from? Do you have any sense?
I just like to learn.
Yeah.
Everybody says, well, what type of books do you like to read? I kind of read textbooks.
Okay.
So it's just about learning new ways to do different things, new ways to do the same stuff.
Okay.
To make it available. So let's say if someone doesn't like drinking tea, so let's make that tea into a tincture so they can take a tincture. If they don't want to take a tincture, then let's make it into something else, so different ways to do and accomplish the same aspect of what people's needs are.
How old were you when you moved to Arizona?
I was 36.
Okay. So I kind of want to step back a little bit to like 25-year-old Penny. What was she learning? Like
how to raise children.
Okay. Okay.
How to raise children.
And 12-year-old Penny, what was she? You were given the assignments at school,
Correct.
And then were you going and like eating the library, like book after book after book?
No.
Or where?
No.
Yeah. When did it come that you just started? What was your very first accreditation or your first?
That would be. Let's see, I had my surgery in 2002. So after that.
Yeah. Okay. So tell me about the surgery.
So I had gastric bypass done. In 2002. Due to health reasons, I tried everything else. Nothing else was working.
Yeah.
And it was either the bypass or have a heart attack.
Yeah. So you were a much heavier person?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
I myself, I used to be 300 pounds. I don't know.
Yep. I was 298 before I had my surgery.
Oh my.
Yep.
You're a little, how tall are you?
5'6".
Yeah. I'm almost 6 feet tall with 300 pounds at 300 pounds and 5'6". Whew.
Yep. So it was wearing on my body because I had all of my children by the time I was 22.
Yeah.
So.
And were you that size when you had your children?
No.
Okay.
No, having my children caused me to be that big.
I see. So like with each child you put on 50
correct.
pounds.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Yeah. Wow.
Because I had my oldest at 16, my second at 17, my third at 18, and my daughter at 21.
Wow.
So
that's very young to be.
Yep. I was married at 16 though.
Okay. To a different.
Correct.
I see.
My husband now is my husband that I've been with for 22 years is actually my third spouse.
Well, and I have no sense for how old you are. So when you say been together 22 years, I don't know. And now it's all coming together.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had kids very young.
Yes.
Which is a curse, but also a blessing in a way, right? Like
it is. So,
I didn't have mine till I was in my 30s. I'm gonna be 50 something before my house is empty. I'm tired.
Oh, my house has never been empty. So I actually have 4 biological, 2 adopted.
Wow.
22 grandchildren, going to be 2 great grandchildren.
Of course, because you started so young.
Yep, and it's fantastic because I get to see them and spend time with them and do things with them.
I will unlikely see my great-grandchildren when you, on the other hand, are probably going to see your great-great-grandchildren
More
or
than
great-great-great-grandchildren. I mean,
if I live that long.
Well, I mean, when you start at 16, goodness gracious.
Yeah, so my younger years were spent trying to figure life out and raise my family and all of that.
Yeah.
And my love for education and my passion for learning came after I had my bypass surgery.
Yeah.
And it made me very ill, so I needed to learn
the surgery itself.
Yeah.
So you put on a ton of weight having kids, which is not uncommon.
Yep.
Obesity is an epidemic
in the US,
in this country. I mean, it is a nut to crack. Not everybody can white knuckle it once you get to that size. It takes a lot.
It does. And when you work with your doctors and you work on your own and for years, and I just couldn't get the weight back off.
Yeah.
And then one day I woke up and I couldn't breathe and couldn't walk. And it was
300 pounds is not a joke.
You have this surgery or you're going to die.
Yeah.
You have the surgery.
And so what is gastric bypass? What is that?
So the gastric bypass is, so I had it in the very beginning, like when the weight loss surgeries first started coming out.
Okay.
They don't do my type of surgery anymore.
Oh, wow.
Because they know now that it can cause other issues later on.
You were kind of a guinea pig.
Yes.
Goodness.
But, with all the problems that I'm having now with my health, I still wouldn't change it because I wake up every day.
Yeah.
I get to see my kids every day. I get to talk to my friends every day.
Absolutely.
Do I have health issues still? Absolutely I do. I will for the rest of my life because of that surgery. But if I didn't, I wouldn't be here.
So do you like do you like to use the term allopathic, or how do you just traditional or mainstream, or however you want to refer to
what I do?
The establishment. The establishment. Allopathic, I think, is the fancy term for regular medicine.
Right.
When people think of like a doctor's office,
right.
like Sanford or whatever.
Yep.
So, in any case, so the allopathic system, in one sense, they saved your life. They gave you that gastric bypass. But in another sense, they were like, "Oh, this will be fine," and then it wasn't. And they're like, "This is going to help," and it didn't help. And so that was a huge crisis for you. As you're losing weight, you're also developing health issues.
Correct.
And you're saying, well, gosh, I'm going to go back to these guys who told me one thing and delivered another, or I'm going to figure it out on my own.
Yep. And I figured it out on my own.
You figured it out on your own.
I still have issues. I still see doctors because I can't order blood tests. I don't treat, cure, any of that. I just assist your body with what it needs, and your body does what it's supposed to.
Yeah.
So, do I see doctors? Absolutely, I do, because I'm not a neurologist.
Yeah.
I'm not, all this other stuff that's going on. So, but I take that information and I'm able to doctor myself. I take that information. I'm not on any prescriptions. So when they want to give me a prescription, I take it, I put it in my back pocket, and I go do my own research. And I do it more natural. Now, You've been doing your own research for a long time. I have.
And it's almost a pejorative, and I don't know that, like, do your own. I did my own research. Oh, really? It's like, yeah, I read books.
Yep.
Like what? Like
Yep.
Are we insulting people for reading books now? So you're going and you're reading these books, but you've kind of been forced to do that because I want to know more about that gastric bypass, because that. So, yes, the classes were definitely pivotal for you.
Correct.
But if you hadn't had gastric bypass,
I don't know where my life would be. So I believe there's a purpose for everything. So everything that happens in your life, there's a reason for it.
Sure.
So if you follow that way of thinking, yes, I had the gastric bypass. It led me to this direction.
Sure.
But if I wouldn't have had it, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So it's a catch-22. I mean, it took a lot of learning and a lot of trial and error to get where I'm at.
Well, and so I would like to, again, zero in on the life experience that you had with that gastric bypass. So they knock you out, they attach your gastric to your bypass.
So what they did, yep, I'll give you a little down roll because I'm dealing with the gastric doctor again. So, so they went in, they took out 3/4 of my stomach, removed 1.5 feet of my small intestine, put the other part over onto the small pouch, sewed me up, and it took me probably about 4 or 5 months to completely heal.
Wow. And that whole time you're healing, you're just
reading.
Like, you can't really move around.
No.
So, I mean, like, you're already struggling with obesity. And they're like, just go lay there for 5 months. Okay. All right. So,
but it wasn't about laying down. I did go, I walked. I did, light stuff. I did, at the time I had it done, I was working with I was a house mom for individuals with Down syndrome.
Oh, wow. So you were working that whole time while you're recovering from surgery. And when did you start to notice there was something wrong? Or when did you start doing research on you? When were you like, this is a problem that needs to be solved and I'm going to start researching? Like when?
After I started working, so the first thing I did is I got, because before I started getting more sick from the bypass, I'm like, I need to do something different. That's, because I had a revision in 2007. Because the doctor didn't complete the surgery, so I had to have a revision.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can you kind of back out? So I
had the surgery in 2002.
Yes.
I had a revision in 2007.
Okay.
After that revision, I'm like, okay, I need to manage naturopathic clinics. So I went and got a degree in medical office management. Started managing Dr. Christy Hughes's clinic that is now Prairie Naturopathic. I worked with Todd and Molly. And I ran the front end of the clinic, and then they purchased it. You got that gastric bypass in Fargo, of course. Like or Jamestown when you were living here. Breckenridge. So you were Breckwap down there. Mm-hmm.
So you were there. You get the post-gastric bypass in 2002.
Yep.
It was in 2007 that you started doing a whole bunch of research on your own, or when did you? I want like the Lifetime movie.
Okay.
Play by play,
gastric bypass in 2002.
Yep. And so you wake up from the surgery,
Yep.
or like, when's the aha? I need to go to the library, or you know what I mean? Like
after I started working for the naturopathic clinic.
Okay, so it wasn't until then. So you had gastric bypass.
Yep.
It wasn't quite right. 5 years later, you're having that revision. When did you start working for whom? When was that?
For Dr. Christie. It was
before or after the revision?
After
the revision. Mm-hmm. And so was the revision part of why you went to go work for them, or how did that happen?
Yes. So when I had to have the revision, I realized that no matter what happens, I'm still going to have issues, and I wanted to do it more natural. I didn't want to take a bunch of.
How did you realize that? Like, how did you? I think that's a big conclusion.
I just woke up one morning and said, I got to take better control.
After the revision. After the revision, you're like, these quacks don't know what they're doing.
Exactly.
I need to be
more hands-on with my own health.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's when that switch got flipped in my brain, and I started, okay, how can I get my foot wet in that field?
Yeah.
So that's when I went and got my medical office management degree and applied to work.
Where did you get that degree at?
Online through Penn Foster.
Okay.
So I got my degree, and then I got a job managing the front end of the naturopathic clinic and worked with Dr. Christy Hughes for just shy of 5 years before we moved to Arizona.
How is it that you knew to go into the naturopathy, though? So, like, you wake up and you're like, these quacks, they're not it. So I
did research on natural medicines.
Why natural medicine? Like, you were just like, this is artificial, so now I need natural? Or it was already in your head from a previous? Like, there must have been something you already knew about or had a sense of? Or
I just woke up one morning and said, there's got to be a better way.
Yeah.
And so I just started researching what would that better way be.
Like you just went to Google and was like, what alternative medicines exist? Or
what is it more natural that I can do so I don't have to continue to take prescriptions and take this over-the-counter stuff and take this that's more healthier for me so I don't end up back.
And there was an online course.
Yep.
You take that course, and after getting that certification, you're like, well, now I'm ready to go work. And so you go work.
Yep. I got a job over at Dr. Christie's clinic over in Moorhead, which is now Prairie Naturopathic.
Yeah.
Todd and Molly bought it from her. And then after they bought it, I moved to Minnesota and managed her clinic in Minnesota for a little while.
Yeah.
And then when my husband and I married, we moved to Arizona.
Wow. I think now we see the whole it's a long and winding trail.
It is.
But it starts with the gastric bypass.
Correct.
And I'd never known that about you, and I really think I don't know exactly on the top of my head but if you put that front and center, the story of somebody who overcame obesity but struggled from a very difficult.
It is very difficult. So people who had the surgery back then are probably suffering more now with medical issues like malabsorption, just not being able to eat the proper foods and do the proper things for their bodies, which then you end up with, like for me, full disclosure, I have white matter disease.
Okay. What's that?
It is where I have lesions on my different parts of my brain.
Oh my goodness.
Because I don't get enough oxygen.
Oh my goodness.
To my brain because my body doesn't make enough red blood cells.
Oh no.
Because your red blood cells are made in your bone marrow and your digestion. So.
And yet you take no medicines for this.
No, I take all supplementation like tinctures and teas and natural stuff to keep me going. Mm-hmm. Wow. So it's a lot of work, but it's worth it because then I don't have all the side effects. Like people who take all these medications, let's give them this medication for this. So, okay, they're having a side effect. Let's give them this medication to counteract this side effect because it'll work with this. And then they have another side effect and then they get another medication. And so it's a roller coaster of Band-Aids.
Yeah.
And I chose not to go down that route.
And step by step, since your gastric bypass or since the revision, you have been piecing together. It's been a very personal journey for you of discovery and creation of just creation of solutions to problems that you've experienced naturally.
Correct.
And you've, through the different people you've worked for, and gosh, you do have a long story of working here, working in Arizona, the apprenticeship. You're just building stacks and stacks of knowledge. Each one seems to be advancing ways of understanding how to care for yourself.
Correct.
Not necessarily just like, how do we do this? It's very personal and very like objective towards
me
first healing yourself. Yep. But there is one inconsistency then. And so I'd like to visit, and we're kind of running out of time, but where do you become an end of life doula with that? Because were you trying to handle your own end of life there? Is that about you? Or was that about your mother? Because you said then that came in handy.
It was about, I had some friends who were struggling. Their dad was dying. And then I had another friend whose husband was dying. Yeah. And they asked for help. And I know that hospice is really wonderful. Get on hospice early if you can.
Yeah.
They provide a lot of services, but they're more medical based.
Yeah.
And I'm more spiritual, holding space type of doula. Like I would go in, I can organize all kinds of things, their end of life plan. I can run their funeral because I'm also a minister.
Of course.
I have a lot of things under my hat.
Yeah.
Anything that's going to help.
We've got a lot of accreditations.
Other people. Yep.
Yeah.
But I found myself in a role where I was helping people through that process. And I wanted more knowledge on how to do it better. So I became an end-of-life doula. I woke up one morning and turned on my phone, and there it was. And I'm like, okay, click. And I enrolled and became an end-of-life doula.
And then eventually you guys came back to Fargo. Why do you come to Fargo? Did we already? I don't know that.
We moved back to Fargo to help take care of my father-in-law.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
you're always trying to help yourself or help family. Obviously, very, very important to you. You're back in the area.
Correct.
And what problem are you solving by opening the shop now? Like now it's just time to turn it out to the world, or what's the objective here?
The objective is to bring natural wellness and the ability for people to have some place to get what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, the people that have come into the shop so far are like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here.
Do you have competition in town? Like,
not really. Toshi's,
No,
Toshi's has some herbs, and I'm okay with that. Competition is always good. There's enough people here for everybody.
Yeah.
Toshi's has some, but they're more geared for a grocery store.
Yeah.
Whole Foods may have some, but they're a grocery store. Steep Me a Cup of Tea. I've been in there. They're extremely expensive.
Yeah.
Not to say that that's a bad thing, but they don't sell the bulk stuff for you to do it on your own.
Yeah.
You have to buy their stuff, where I offer both. I can offer consultations to help you specifically.
Yeah.
Whether it's using in a variety of things. I can help with nutrition because I'm an integrative nutritionist. I can help with essential oils because I'm a clinical aromatherapist. I can help with herbs because I'm a medicinal certified herbalist. I can help with relaxation and pain because I'm a Reiki master. So just an all-encompassing, I want people in the community to have a place to go when they're researching other things for their health.
Yeah.
And be able to get some knowledge and get the products and get the things that they need to take care of themselves the way that they want to take care of themselves.
I don't know that everybody acts in this way, but I think the best of us do. It seems that you've gone on your journey to try to help yourself and understand and build these skills for yourself. And now you are trying to be the person you wish had been there for you.
Correct.
Like there's some saying, and it's not coming off the top of my head, but like where our best actions are really just trying to heal our own past trauma.
Correct.
By being the person we wish had been there for us.
Correct. And there's a lot of people out there that need somebody to just talk to reach out to say, what herb works for this or what does this? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things that I have to look up, but I have a clinical database.
Yeah.
And people say, well, shouldn't you know this? Okay. where does your doctor, when you go to the clinic, where does your doctor go when he leaves the room? He goes to his database and comes back with a prescription. Yeah. So I know all the basics, but because I've taken so much education, I too have a database that I will refer to quite often to help people in the correct manner, because herbs and oils and stuff do affect medication. So if you're on a medication and you come into the shop and you haven't done your own research, then we need to have a consultation so that I can better hone in on what can help you so you're not taking something that causes harm.
Well, that's a serious point, and I think a lot of people don't understand that, like, in a way, these natural herbs are just medicines. They're just, not exactly dosed, and they do things. They have pharmacological expectations.
Yeah,
yes. and so they can interact with your medicine. So that's, and I don't know that everybody, is out there worrying about that. So kudos to you for putting that together. That's the end of the show. Awesome. It's been an hour. It's 55 after. It goes fast, doesn't it?
It does.
It's the greatest compliment I get. And I just gave it to myself. Haha. Why don't you
go? Fantastic.
You picked the song Somebody Prayed by Crowder. Tell us about that, Joyce.
Well, because I think that I wouldn't be where I'm at if my grandparents and my aunts and my uncle and people didn't pray for me to find my way. Yeah. Didn't pray for me to find something that I'm passionate about. Didn't pray for me to be healthy and so when prayer is very powerful. So It's a very favorite song of mine.
Well, that's a beautiful sentiment. Why don't you go ahead, plug yourself, and then we will get out of here. Let everybody know how they can find you, how they can get a hold of you.
Okay, so my name is Penny. You can find me at 1613 Main Avenue East in West Fargo, off of Main Avenue and 17th Street in that little strip mall there. And you can call me at 480-766-2716. Look me up on Facebook and Instagram as well.
You don't have a local number yet?
I don't.
Get one.
And the reason being is I've had this phone number for 20 years and I run another business off of that. And all of my wholesalers and all of my contacts and all of them have that number. For me to change it now would be a master disaster.
You could probably get a 701 number that forwards to your Arizona number. Okay, we'll talk one of these Fridays because we see each other every Friday.
Yeah.
Okay, of course, I'm Conrad Fargo, and you can find me anywhere you can type in Conrad and Fargo. Anywhere you type it in. If you put Conrad and Fargo together, I come up. When I come up, please do like, share, subscribe, send out, let everybody know how awesome the show is. Thank you, Penny, so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is a great show. I can't wait. I've got about 15 different people I'm going to share it with because I think your story is very interesting and relevant to a lot of people's journeys. So
thank you.
Thank you for coming on. Of course, thank you everybody for listening, and we will see you guys all next week. Whoops. Bye.